The ocean was calm, almost deceptively peaceful. Jessica Radcliffe had been out at sea before, but this day would etch itself into her memory forever. The sun painted the horizon in gold, and the water shimmered like glass. Everything seemed perfect, almost too perfect. Jessica was no stranger to the open water. A seasoned diver, she had explored reefs, caverns, and deep channels most people would only see in documentaries. She had always respected the ocean, knowing it was as dangerous as it was beautiful. But respect, she would learn, does not grant immunity. The small research boat drifted silently over the current. Jessica leaned over the side, scanning for movement beneath the waves. The team had been tracking orcas in the region for several weeks. It was routine work, or at least, it was supposed to be. A black dorsal fin broke the surface about 50 yards away. Then another, and another. Jessica smiled at first. Orcas were magnificent creatures, intelligent, social, and curious. Watching them always brought her a sense of wonder. But something about their behavior today was different. They were circling, not playful, not curious, purposeful. The crew grew silent. Even the waves seemed to hush. Jessica adjusted her wetsuit and prepared to slip into the water. She had done this hundreds of times, confident in her training and composure. The captain hesitated. "You sure about this?" he asked. She nodded. She always did. The cold water hit like a shock, but Jessica was used to it. Her breathing steadied, slow and controlled. Beneath her, the dark shapes glided through the water. Beautiful, powerful, predators. She felt a sudden shift in the current, a movement too fast to track with her eyes. One of the orcas veered closer than expected. Then another followed. The water around her churned. Jessica's instincts flared. This wasn't curiosity. This was aggression. The first hit came like a freight train. The orca's massive body slammed into her side, sending her spinning in the water. Her air regulator wrenched loose. Salt water filled her mouth, choking her. Panic clawed at her throat, but she forced herself to focus. Training over terror, she scrambled to find her mouthpiece, lungs screaming for air. Above her, bubbles erupted like a boiling cauldron. A second impact, harder this time. Her mask cracked against her cheek. Jessica twisted, trying to see where they were coming from, but the water was chaos, white foam and flashes of black and white. She kicked hard, trying to surface, but something powerful surged past her legs. The orca wasn't trying to eat her. It was testing her, toying with her, like a cat with a mouse. The boat above shouted frantic orders, but their voices barely penetrated the roar in Jessica's ears. Her oxygen gauge spun wildly as she clung to consciousness. Another shape, enormous, impossible to escape, passed just beneath her. A tail flicked. The water exploded around her. Jessica was tossed like a rag doll, the sea no longer a gentle cradle but a weapon. Every muscle burned, every nerve screamed. She tasted blood in her mouth. Still, she fought. She pushed her body upward, searching for light, for air, for life. The surface broke above her, and then vanished again as she was pulled under by a sudden whirl of current. The orca had her leg, not in its teeth, just in its grip, as though testing how far she could be dragged. Jessica clawed at the water, her body twisting violently, refusing to be taken down. The boat moved closer, but even 10 feet away might as well have been 10 miles. Someone threw a rope. It landed just out of reach, a cruel reminder of how fragile human life is in the open ocean. Jessica forced herself toward it, every stroke agony, every kick a gamble that the orca wouldn't strike again. Her hand brushed the rope, but then another surge of water ripped it away. The captain revved the engine, hoping the noise would scare the orcas off. The water thrashed with power and fury. Jessica broke the surface again, gasping, eyes wild with terror and rage. She screamed, not out of fear, but defiance. She would not be dragged under. Another dorsal fin sliced the surface nearby. Then another. They were surrounding her. The crew shouted louder, throwing more lines, trying anything to distract the predators. Jessica felt the vibration first, the deep hum of the boat coming dangerously close. She seized her moment. With the last of her strength, she lunged toward the nearest rope. Hands caught her wrist, human hands. Strong hands. Pain shot through her shoulder as she was yanked from the water, her body slamming against the side of the boat. The orcas didn't follow. They circled once, almost in silent acknowledgement, before vanishing beneath the waves. Jessica collapsed onto the deck, coughing up seawater, her body trembling uncontrollably. The crew surrounded her, voices blurring into background noise. She was alive, barely. The ocean, once calm and beautiful, seemed suddenly endless and hostile. She looked back at the water, still sparkling in the sunlight, as though nothing had happened. But Jessica knew better. She had seen the other side of the sea. The predator's side. Her wetsuit was torn, her leg bruised and swollen, but no bones were broken. She was lucky, impossibly lucky. The captain looked at her with wide eyes. That was no accident, he said. They knew what they were doing. Jessica nodded, still catching her breath. They always know what they're doing. That day changed her forever. She would dive again, yes, but never without remembering the raw power she had felt. The ocean gives, and the ocean takes. And sometimes, it warns. Jessica Radcliffe survived her fight for life, but she would never forget the orca's stare, deep and calculating. She had looked into the eye of a predator and come back alive. But she knew, more than ever, that next time, she might not. The sea keeps its secrets. And Jessica had just become one of them.